Donna. Okay, so we're waiting on Kermit. Yeah. Waiting on Kermit. Hmm. Let me find my question. What I wanted is to do. Okay. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Oh, Kermit is here on the ball today. On the ball. Good morning, Kermit. Not hearing nothing. He's in.
His
Oh,
audio isn't on.
yeah, I see that. Oh, what happened? What happened? Oh, okay. All right. His audio is off now. Morning, Kermit.
Morning, morning. Just having some issues with my
Yeah, we
internet.
started this now.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm putting the question in the chat, or should I email it? Which one is better?
You can put it in the chat, then email it.
Yeah. Since everybody is there, we'll have a chance to read. Say yes.
I mean, half of it, not all.
But most of it you should know. Correct?
Been introduced to. I guess it's like you need a refresher.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Let me see if I can find something that's short.
Huh?
That won't do. I found what I want, but it's a little bit too long. It may help. No, I don't want that. I think I'll take this one. I'll take this one here.
Miss Aja was even doing KYC and due diligence. That seems to confuse
KYC
me.
is your client.
I know.
Okay.
Isn't that
Due
the same as
diligence mean more, and that's refer more to the investigative side. So you have due diligence and you have enhanced due diligence.
right?
So enhanced means that's when you're dealing with high-risk clients.
Mm-hmm.
Or people that deal in high-risk jurisdictions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But what I mean is, people say, people make reference to KY, know your KYC, know your client. But isn't that all due diligence? I mean, isn't that the same as due diligence? Because
Yes.
if you're doing due diligence on the client, you're finding out their name, their history, their source of wealth, and all that. That's the
Right.
same as KYC,
Yeah.
right?
Don't forget now, yes. So due diligence is the act. You see what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
okay, okay.
Know your client is the fact.
Information, okay,
Yes.
okay, okay.
There's
All
a
right,
difference.
okay.
But
Yeah.
I understand your question. So you don't use them interchangeably.
Okay,
One is an
okay,
action and one is a fact. So,
okay.
so let's just say our customer is Kermit.
Right.
Your Kermit passport, you have his utility bill, you know where he works, you know what how much he expects to come through the account, you know what he pays every month.
That's KYC.
That's KYC. You know your client. due diligence means that you would have verified where he works. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay, okay.
You would have so one is the action and one is the fact.
Okay.
The difference between the two. But you're referring to the same subject matter.
Okay.
All right. So I know all of you have done money laundering training because it's an annual training. And so we start by, without looking in the book, what is money laundering to you?
The legal placement of funds to make it legitimate.
Yes. Anybody wants to add to that?
When people acquire money not through legal means and they, I guess, try to make it clean through legal
Yes.
means, basically.
Yes. Anybody else want to add to that? There's many different ways to speak of money laundering. And it's how you interpret it. That we know it's always ill-gotten gains to pass through a legal system in order to make it clean. We know that. So internationally, what are some of these illegal activities?
Like smuggling, human trafficking, selling illegal firearms, financing terrorism, terrorist
Bank
financing.
robberies. Sorry, Nishka.
No, I'm done.
Bank robberies.
Yeah.
Drugs. That's it.
You sure? You sure? Or all those things you said, you're sure? Because if that was it, this wouldn't be a big business.
But true.
There's a lot more. Let me bring it home. What is money laundering here?
Numbers.
No, how?
Well, illegal. Well, gambling isn't illegal, right?
No.
So you can't really say that. You mean examples of what it is here? Well, drugs for sure. I know drugs. Like Anishka said, firearms. Illegal selling of firearms. So sometimes they're smuggled in the country and sold. I don't know, lucrative. I mean, I don't know. I always wonder how lucrative these things are.
You can't be serious.
Seriously, yeah, it was like, I agree.
I just
You
wonder,
agree?
I mean, yeah, because if 10 people selling drugs and you selling one little, I don't know what you call it, a little piece for $10,
Pocket.
you know how much people you got to buy that from? Some of you got to buy from you to make $1 million. I don't see how.
I always
don't know.
wonder how they make a profit for that and they make millions over this. I always wonder.
Yeah, I don't get it. There's more than one person doing it, selling it. And then you have to get, I know people buy it in bulks, but I mean, who it has, I guess it's wealthy people buying it in bulk, and then they have the smaller merchants doing it for them. I guess they have it organized. I haven't gotten to the bottom of it, how it works.
Oh,
Like
Miss
you said,
Archer.
that can't be it.
Oh, Miss Archer, Nisha says she's trying to get in.
Oh, I didn't see her. Okay. Done. Now, you can't be a banker. You can't be, if you don't know how money is laundered. Kermit is very quiet. So as a man, Kermit, how do you buy drugs?
It's actually, I never buy drugs in my life. So I ain't the one to answer that. I am the one. Because
And you know,
I mean, I don't even have no friends that must buy no drugs. None of my male friends buy drugs. So
that's what you think.
I mean, at least I lie. I think one. But my one is considered a drug over here. Yeah. So I guess so.
Yeah. Listen, Kermit. Mm-mm.
I think they should legalize that though.
And why? Because you want to take it?
Why?
And marijuana don't do nothing, man.
Really?
Hey, you
God put
know,
that there. God put that there.
it's a leaf for true, they say. It's a plant for true.
Mhm. And
I
cocaine.
don't do you nothing but relax and have fun.
Oh, you hear that, eh? It is addictive.
It is.
But Miss Archer, soda, other things addictive too. When people be drinking soda every day,
Caffeine.
Coca-Cola soda every day.
And
They
it
don't
don't
have
have the same
like,
effect.
Yeah, this Coca-Cola give you bad, it's give you bad health, and then other sodas and I just using soda as example now, and other things.
a lot of
Other
things
things
is
is
bad
different.
health if you abuse it.
Anyway, I could be here today. I ain't trying to cause no big argument.
Come on now. You don't live like that. What's wrong with you?
And nothing.
We don't live like that, but you're still into people crime in the Bahamas. Come on, now money laundering. The Bahamas constantly stays on the list for money laundering. How do we do it?
When they open up them offshore accounts.
Huh?
And then people come here to open up them offshore accounts.
I mean the trust companies.
Uh-huh.
Really?
You don't think they're still laundering money?
Hold on. So now you telling me that the offshore business is the business where the money laundering is and not in the domestic.
I mean, it's one of them.
Okay, explain that to me then.
That's all I know. I know people use offshore accounts as thresholds to wash their money and hide money. Tell me I right, man, because I know I right.
Example. Explain that some more.
But how you want me to explain more?
You say they bring it here, they wash it through their account here. So where is it coming from? How are they making these millions?
People smuggling.
Do
Stuff like
illegal things.
Where do they normally smuggle people from?
Somewhere,
China.
somewhere on
Where?
the eastern side of the world.
You're too general for me.
Miss Archer, I trying to find out where you going.
From the Dominican Republic and Cuba.
No, they do not.
The
A lot of
eastern
them
side of the
Latin
world, though.
American countries,
It's the eastern side of the world.
Mexico,
About here. I talking about here.
and them other places.
Talking about here.
Oh,
Yeah. They bring them here for prostitution.
That's true too. Is that illegal?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
prostitution illegal.
They
As far
bring
as
them
I
here to a
know.
strip club too. And
Yeah.
they
You know, budding politicians should know that one.
Oh Lord.
Archer, how much questions is this?
I look it now.
What? Just one
it
question.
can't fit. It can't fit. That's why I should just send it like that. That's one question.
Right. Remember, I tell you it's long, but it's what we're talking about right now.
So this the type of exam questions this long?
Yes.
Jesus.
That look like a story.
Of course, there's always a story. You can't have money laundering without a story.
So
So what are
we
the
working
stages
on
of money laundering?
placement, layering, or concealing and
Right. And so we know that there are 3 steps. So let's go to the law now. What does the law say in the Bahamas?
about
Money laundering.
the definition. The law has money laundering.
No, the law doesn't say there is money laundering. The law says the law under the Proceeds of Crime Act, what they do is what they say is they identify risk offenses. And risk offenses are corruption, cybercrime, human trafficking, money laundering, or the financing of weapons for mass destruction, terrorism, or the financing of terrorism. Those are the risks identified under our law. So what's terrorism? What's terrorism? Y'all gone quiet?
I think it's like when persons intentionally cause,
people?
cause harm or are violent toward people. I don't, or governments. I don't know.
No, nobody
they-
knows. Terrorism.
Let me look it up.
What happened at 9/11?
The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in the pursuit of political aims.
That ain't help you much, eh?
Say it again.
That didn't help you much, right? That definition.
No.
Mhm.
That's what the definition says.
That ain't okay.
You need a wider one, eh?
No, you gotta understand. When I teach money laundering, I always tell students, this is why we don't have a lot of STRs being filed with the FIU, because people don't understand what is money laundering, what it actually
Okay.
is. It passes them every day and they don't have a clue.
Wow.
So money laundering is, back to the very first question she asked about due diligence. Money laundering comes about, are you able to detect it? When you see that there is something going on in a client's account that doesn't make sense, based upon the purpose that they stated the account was for and the activities that are going through the account. So when they say know your client, it's not just knowing that individual, but it's knowing who that individual deals with and what jurisdiction they deal with and what product are they moving. So it's not just the individual, it's all of it holistically. And you have to understand the nature of the business. So it's not just the offshore clients, it's also the domestic clients. Because if you read the papers every day, someone is getting arrested for either ammunition, marijuana, cocaine, prostitution, is always, or fraud. So there's all kinds of crimes being committed. And all of it turns into money laundering because they have illegal gains and then they putting it into the system. So give me an example of some recent one in the past few weeks where they would be charged under the Proceeds of Crime Act for money laundering.
You mean that big drug thing what they had?
That's one. Let's go. There's more.
I know, I think it was earlier, a couple months ago, I think they had a big fraud at Securities Commission. I think it was like some
Yes.
$807,000 each of stolen.
Yes, because those funds would have gone out and then put into someone's account as their actual funds and then came back out into the system.
Right.
What about the NIB scam?
I just want to say that. Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
that too.
The,
What about that
the one from
accounting?
COB too, right?
What about that accounting from
Yes.
Inland Revenue too?
Yes, all of those.
Because they were ill-gotten and then they put it into an account. Okay.
Right. And then took it out.
Okay. Okay. All right.
That's money laundering.
Okay. Oh, okay. I mean, for true, it's right before your eyes. But I
Mhm.
never, when the charges are read, I never hear money laundering.
Yeah, they have it there. It's there.
Okay.
It's there. The money laundering is when you put the money into the system.
Right. And then you layer it, and then you integrate it.
Right,
What I'm
right.
saying is I don't ever hear them when they saying they, I guess sometimes they say they have 8 charges or 10 charges. I guess they don't read all. One would be money laundering, I guess.
Yeah. So say the one for drug smuggling, when they catch the drugs, if there's no way to prove that monies were deposited, then you won't hear money laundering.
I see.
You see? So if I take that thought now and switch that to the offshore, when you see the offshore, whatever would have been the catalyst for that for those monies, we wouldn't see it here. We'll only know when the money comes into the bank.
Yes.
Okay? And that money could come from anywhere, legitimate or illegitimate. Because it could have been illegitimate, became legitimate, passed through another legitimate business, and then come to the Bahamas.
Okay.
And so you wouldn't know that it was illegitimate. Unless there's someone investigating that person or that business or that trail of where the money comes from. So under the Proceeds of Crime Act, it says it is an offense to conceal. So they say, if acting with knowledge or reasonable suspicion, and this is what everyone in the banking industry has to understand, reasonable suspicion. So if you have a client who comes in and you know that he owns a boat, and you know that over time, based on his parameters, he said he would deposit 10,000. He's always been between 8 and maybe say 15. He comes in today with 30,000. You need to ask him where he got that money from.
That's why I
Right.
used to do the DSS form too when I was in the banking industry. I used to help them fill it out.
Yes.
And if they don't want to fill it out, you know what I do next, right?
Yes, you
People-
do.
SDR.
Yeah.
SDR.
And that's what they call a reasonable suspicion,
Mhm.
especially when you don't want to answer.
So, Ms. Asha, what about when it's like a check? Because I don't know why we got in this habit of, even for checks. When I say checks, I don't mean personal checks. I'm talking about managers' checks, bank checks.
Uh-huh.
Even for bank checks now, we've gotten this habit where we given the same level of scrutiny as if somebody bringing $10,000 or $20,000 to the bank as a deposit. I feel like they really over exaggerating with these managers' checks these days. Even government treasury checks, they're over exaggerating to my extent, because I shouldn't be getting questioned 10 times as if I brought $20,000 cash to the bank, because it's a
That's
manager's check.
true.
But there's
We work.
fraud. Fraud is on the
Yeah,
increase.
yeah, but
but
it shouldn't. Yeah, but it shouldn't be to the extent you treat me like I bought $20,000 in cash. It's
But the
still, there should be some level of okay, and one fiduciary bank and the next fiduciary bank, whatever, supposed to be following
yeah.
the same guidelines, same
Yes.
protocols
Yes.
to be on one playing field. That's why they have a clearinghouse, right? So all them supposed to follow is the
Yes.
same set of rules and understanding,
But we
and
have a
making sure they
rise.
know their customers.
But we have a rise in fraud, Kermit. You have to look. Okay, I agree with you.
Uh,
If I go to the bank and I get a manager's check for 30,000 and I take it to the next bank and make a deposit, I agree with you. What you're saying, they shouldn't be questioning because it's a manager's check.
right.
But because we have such a high rate of fraud, they're not going to take it just like that. There's too much fraud in the industry. Every day you pick up the paper, there's fraud.
I guess I can understand the point. With the
Yeah.
fraud part of it, I can understand.
Right, and they're just being careful because once they accept that and they pay out that money, and it is the
That's
fraudulent
it.
check, there's a loss.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
say someone on the opposite end was doing fraud, and they issued amongst their friends 5 checks. Each check was $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. You see how much a bank lost in one day?
Yeah.
I experienced that. I know. At least not
Okay.
personally, but I mean I've seen it.
You see that happen, and it can happen. It's the same way if someone sat down right now and made some counterfeit money. So let's say they can make 50 $100 bills, or maybe 200 $100 bills. And they give it to each one of their friends to go and spend, and it gets into the system. By the time that is deposited to a bank and the bank counts his money and realizes it's counterfeit, it's gone. All of it is a loss.
Mhm.
And the bank does whatever it takes to minimize his loss. The bank does not like to lose.
But I remember one time I got a
I
counterfeit
understand.
$100, right? The customer asked me if they got it back. I tell them no.
No, that's illegal.
Wow.
Nobody call the police for them.
I told my manager, but it's like, why you want this back to stay real? What you want it back for? Mm-mm.
Do you know, hold on. When someone brings a counterfeit note,
Mhm.
right? And you realize it's counterfeit, you realize you need to call the police.
That's what I was about to ask, if you
No, they,
report.
they,
Call the police.
no, they do that. We reported. We took the person name, the account number, and everything, and then they took it because they have to report that. Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, they do
we
it.
did the due diligence.
Mm-hmm. Kermit is very quiet and he disagrees with this. Kermit?
Let me listen.
I'm here, Ms. Asha.
No, I know, because he made raise the point, but the manager just checked. So I want to know if he understands now
No,
why.
yeah. No, like I say, I mean, like I say, I never thought of it like that. I
Yeah.
just thought it's trying to be being discriminatory, whatever.
No,
Because
no.
that's why I just but
No.
yeah,
So
I didn't think of it like that because I can
okay,
understand the bank trying not to have any loss.
exactly. Because remember now, in banking, everything is risk-based. You hear people
Oh
talk
yes.
about that a lot. Risk-based means they look at the risk, and that is a risk
Yeah.
because they're going to lose money. So the
Our
access,
reputation would damage.
yes. So why my things keep going out? You can hear me?
Yeah,
That's
that
the
happened to me
internet.
too. Yeah, that's the
That's why
internet.
I
Because
put my
keep
phone
going
on
out too.
data. Yeah, because it's terrible. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's dry again. Sometimes it cuts out.
I mean,
Okay.
I
like that
have it
for a
on.
couple of days. Yeah.
I had a class this morning and some people light went off.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah. So a person commits an offense of money laundering if acting with knowledge or reasonable suspicion, they conceal the proceeds of crime, they disguise it, convert it, transfers it, or removes it from the Bahamas. You understand that? All of that is a crime. If you know that the funds that you have are from proceeds of crime and you disguise it, or you take it, you buy something else with it. That's called conversion. And then take that something else and then convert that back to cash. That's conversion. That's a crime. It's also an offense if you are part of an arrangement dealing with illegal money. And that's if you know or you suspect or you ought to have known. And if you are a banker or a trust officer, by law, you have a special set of knowledge. And so the court will say you ought to have known based on your knowledge and your expertise. You are a banker or you are a trust officer. You should have been able to detect that this was coming from ill-gotten means. Because I know a lot of people like to brag, oh, I'm a banker. With banker, there comes a duty. As a trust officer, there comes a duty. So it says if you enter into any arrangement which facilitates the acquisition or the use or the concealment of the proceeds of crime, either by or on behalf of another person, that's also a crime. It's a crime if you use and possess the proceeds of crime. So like I always tell students, so you have a boyfriend, you know he's a drug dealer, he's making some money, and he comes and he brings you this lovely necklace. What is that?
A gift for 500.
A gift? Yeah, crime. Proceeds of crime. because you ought to have known. So there are some ancillary offenses. One is failure to disclose. And you know it is an offense if you fail to disclose, either to the FIU or to the police, that you know, you suspect, or you reasonably ought to have known or suspected that another person was engaged in money laundering or committing an offense related to an identified risk. So that means you are dating someone. You know that person doesn't work. Or they say they work in a company. You have probably only see 2 people come in every day, but he has lots of money. What will you do? What will you do? If he only has a few customers coming in his business, but he has lots of money. What are you going?
Question him.
You can question him. And then what?
I don't like the
If
answers. I call in the police.
See what?
I
Yeah,
don't
well,
like the answers. I call in the police.
Just fill out the form. Fill out the form.
No, I'm talking in your personal life.
Oh, personal. Oh, personal.
I
Child,
disassociate myself.
how do you pimp? How do you go pimping
Charlie,
on?
they come looking for you.
So
Yeah,
they
there's
say,
come
be
looking for
careful.
you.
Get
You
a
just
disposable phone and report them. Get a disposable phone and report them and change your voice because they can come back looking for you.
You call a hotline.
Gotcha.
Now, hold on. Now you see why we're always on the blacklist.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you now, with the change of the law, let's say you don't report him and you carry on life as normal. When he gets arrested, you will too.
Yeah, for real. So, Miss Archer, they consider domestic issues when they're blacklisting us. They don't only consider international; they consider domestic as well.
It won't be as domestic. It'll just be Joe Smith and Mary Sue Wallace.
No, what I'm asking is when we're blacklisted by the European Union and all of those other OECD, are they talking only from banking, the banking industry
All,
aspect of money laundering, or they consider all?
all.
Oh,
It's all. Every sector of the Bahamas have an obligation. The Proceeds of Crime Act covers everybody, the whole Bahamas. The whole Bahamas. The focus is always on the banks because the banks is what? That's the part where the illegal gains go in and come back out. So the bank was always the center part of it.
mhm.
But there are other ways to do it. You don't have to go through a bank. I can make my ill-gotten gains and I can buy a car.
Mhm.
So that's why you see sometimes they have lots of cars.
Yeah.
And of course, if it's a car dealership, it's expected that he would bring 40,000 in a month or whatever. No one will question.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't necessarily have to put all of his cash in the bank. He can keep some of his cash in his office in a vault. So as he pays certain bills, he paid them in cash.
Mhm.
There are different ways to do it. And that's why your eyes have to always be open.
So
But
is that
go ahead.
one of the reasons why the Bahamas is, I mean, apart from well, is that one of the reasons why Bahamas is aiming towards cashless? Is
Yeah.
is
Yes, it
so
is.
if you have money, you're gonna have to end up, if you have money concealing money or hiding it, you're gonna have to end up putting it in the bank to
Yeah,
utilize
but
it.
you can say where it came from. You can't say where it came from, then it's confiscated and then you're prosecuted.
A lot of, I mean, I don't know how that could work because a lot of people don't
What do you mean?
like, a lot of people are not comfortable putting every dollar they have in the bank.
Well, as time changed and other countries have done it, they're all
Yeah,
kept.
yeah, that's,
That's the only way you can control. See, the problem we have is that we have lots of water, lots of movement. And then we have a lot of foreigners living here. We recruit a lot of people from around the world. So you have all kind of different layers of money moving and moving and moving. When they look at the reports from the Bahamas and look at remittances from the Bahamas to other countries, such as Haiti, to the Philippines, to China, you're talking about a huge amount of money.
Yes, yes, you are correct. A
It's
lot of money has come out this country. A lot.
exactly. So let's just say my son is in school. If you wanted to see if I was money laundering, then you would look at what I send. My little
Yeah.
bit of money I send to him don't change. You know what I'm saying? But let's say if I'm into money laundering now, so I just get a big sum. So I would have sent him his school fees money. Then I might send him with 5 grand here today.
Yes, yes,
I send
yes,
him with 10 grand. Then I send him with 15. You see what I'm saying?
yes,
That ain't
yes,
normal.
yes.
And that's why they always say KYC, know your client. Because if your
But
child
Miss,
is in school, why would you be
I,
spending all of this money?
I want to bring up a point. I mean,
Go ahead.
it's an enhanced feature of Scotiabank now, and I always wondered how much longer that's going to be going on for, because now you can go to the bank and use the ATM and deposit monies, and it goes directly to your account.
Mhm.
And before time, there was a certain amount you could put in before questions are asked. But now, well, the most I probably put on the account was 4,000, and it just took it and put it to my account.
Mhm.
Of course, it was for my son who was in school, but usually I'd have to do it over the period of 3 days, 2 or 3 days. But I was able to just put it on the account one time. No questions asked. I mean, they didn't reject it.
No.
Yeah. Like, I mean, one time I took 7,000 to the bank, and they didn't question it. And
You put it through the machine, or you just
no,
or the
I just
teller.
went to the teller. Now, one time to the ATM, I put 3,000 to the
Ye-
ATM. They ain't questioning, but I
I think
mean,
like if it's 10,000, they probably like 10,000 or more, they'll question you.
Right.
No, but
that's why I
when
was
I went to
asking,
the
Mr. Aston, it's
teller,
so discriminatory thing, because
discriminatory. Yeah,
I feel like some tellers them is mess with some people, and then some
yeah,
tellers them just leave
because
some people alone.
Mm.
I couldn't before that time take 1,500. Well, 1,500 was allowed. To take 3,000 to the bank, if I tell them I'm an ASU, I got to bring the ASU contract, and I got to
Yeah.
do this, and I got to do that, and I got to
But
show
the thing
where
is,
I get it from the next bank.
right. But see,
I'm just loving Scotia. You just
no, but
put the
if the
money.
thing about it is this, everything now is risk-based. And with that risk-based
Yeah,
comes technology. And
yeah.
so the systems that go behind that will look at your deposits and look at your withdrawal. Automatically, the system, without human intervention, when
Okay,
people alert to compliance,
okay,
this does not look good. Something is not right here. Automatically. Then compliance will do their due diligence and start digging into it and then say, okay, this is normal.
okay,
Then the human comes into it. So you can deposit whatever you want. The system will automatically do alerts.
okay.
It's automatic.
All right.
Now, before time, the time when you all were talking about when you go to the tell and tell ask questions, the system was not that sophisticated at that time.
I see.
The system that Scotia and FCIB have, those international banks,
Yeah,
they're like humans. They can pick up anything.
yeah, yeah. I guess.
That's the difference. Then, of course, if there is something suspicious, or let's say you would have filed at the front line, you file your internal report and it goes to the MLRO. And the MLRO decides that, guess what? This isn't suspicious. They could be fined for that. If it is found that that actually was a suspicious transaction, they can be fined. Because they say when the MLRO knows or suspects or has reasonable grounds for knowing or suspecting that another person is engaged in money laundering or an identified risk activity, they have a duty to report it. And
So
of
do
course,
we have a lot of those reports? STR, you said no way.
Not what the international arena is looking for.
Oh, well, I mean, that could mean, well, I don't know how much more it actually is than what we report, but there's a high level of responsibility they put on banks now to, I mean, I don't think it's that easy for, I don't know.
But
I don't think people, I think people shy away from going into offshore banks to,
well, as banks, trust companies, insurance companies, it's gaming houses, um, law firms, all of them have compliance officers now, you know.
yeah, I know.
And what they're saying is when you look at the amount of crime that is in the paper,
I see.
okay, and then crimes that stem from here,
Somebody ain't reporting it.
somebody's not reporting.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's not reporting. Somebody. So that is what they're looking at. They look at how busy this little place is. It's a busy little place, you know. If it wasn't COVID, what would the day be like? Who ain't fly to from Miami, fly to New York, fly to London,
Yeah,
Cuba, they in the DR, they here, they there.
yeah,
Everybody flying here, the Canadian, Air Canada flying every minute, American Airlines coming 7, 8 times a day. Come on now.
yeah,
This little place
for
busy.
real. Yeah.
Busy. And every time you look, what? Murder, 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 murder. Kermit, you have a gun?
Jesus.
No, I'm just saying.
No, no, no,
Not that
no.
answer. No, not that answer.
Listen, I have no problem with guns, so I don't have no gun. So I don't have no
No, but
problem
I'm
with
just
guns.
saying.
Just
Every time
in
you
these days and
drive,
times, unless you live in a gated community, I mean, even that case, you still should have your own
just need
protection.
one then.
Yeah.
No, but the thing about it is when you look at it, people getting killed left, right, and center.
Yeah.
Guns are all over the island, but they are illegal.
Well, not all.
These ones,
Right.
Those
Yeah.
they're-
Accepted, but not the handheld ones.
the
yeah.
handheld one's illegal, not the shot. The shotgun, which one is
And
the
who got
long one?
those big guns anyways?
I know, but at least that's something, Joe. I need one of
These
them.
people using AK-47. Like what
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
so tell me
But
when
Miss Masachi, you don't think there's a lot of retaliation as opposed to just people randomly doing these things?
I agree with you, but that ain't the point. Where did they
I
get the guns?
understand.
Someone is selling the
Oh,
guns.
I get what you
Someone
mean. I get what you mean.
That's a
Right.
whole other story because I could get into that too.
Oh wow.
Hmm.
Learn us, girl. Learn us.
Yeah, you can teach us. Let's go, because that's what they're talking about
The
now.
people who they allowing to not get searched by custom officers.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
who the people is of a different
Yeah,
section.
that's
Mhm.
true. And then, like Masachi say, we surrounded by water.
Yep.
The officers can't be everywhere. And then
No,
sometimes they allow little things. I don't know what transactions happens on the sea, but
but
I
hold on.
sure everybody
All
ain't.
of this we know. Common sense could tell us a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I say, if you have a relative
Is
or boyfriend, and they always
suspicion.
going somewhere and one little stash to take something out, you're getting money. Where you getting this money from? Money don't, like I always say, my son said to me a couple of days ago, he said, Mommy, they say lockdown. Why everybody wrap around super value? Everybody wrap around extra. Where does money come from? And they just cry.
Yes.
They have no money.
Yes.
None.
Yes.
The government must pay them. They must get their
Yeah.
$40 voucher. Where in the world
Yes.
does money come from? He said, where is this money tree? I can't find it.
Yes. Yes.
That is
Yes.
my point. And don't
Yes.
forget now, all of the DE, what it is, the DEA, the DEU, the CIA, they're living right here.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
can see the same thing we saying. And so you and I who are right here working every day, we didn't run the super value like we crazy. And we wake in. So tell me,
Yes.
where did that money come from? That's the question. What is that?
I'm just waiting to see what December is gonna look like in the Bahamas.
Boy.
I
Yeah,
really, really want to see it
I'd like to see it too.
because that'll really tell the tale for me for the Bahamas. Because they
Yeah.
say 40% of the population ain't working.
But they was right around the building.
Yes. Mind you,
And-
Masacha, everybody ain't going for trolleys and trolleys of grocery. But still,
Still, I'm not standing on no line, wrap around the building to get 1 gallon of milk.
no,
No.
no. I'll do it. I know only the lockdown only 3 days.
It was a normal weekend plus a holiday.
Yeah, that's it.
And on a holiday, people don't eat much unless they're doing some grilling. So why you wrap around a building like the whole
Yeah.
cloud falling out?
Yes,
That don't make
yes.
no sense to me.
Yeah.
But money has to flow because I don't care what you say. These people, it just ain't, something just not right.
I don't know. Well, Masacha, they could just be, I don't know. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't pay their bills. That's a fact.
No, but they buy
But
everything. So,
That's another story.
okay,
a lot of
nails
people
are
don't.
done, nails are done, hand and feet, hair done every week.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
bag is a fake Gucci or fake Louis Vuitton. They got a bag. They cost $60.
I don't, the more than that? Well, the fake, yeah, I
Yeah, but I'm
guess.
just saying they have all of those things.
Yes,
Everything is
yes,
matching, even though they don't pay their bills.
yes, yes,
Money pull out from somewhere. Trust me.
yes, yes.
Now, whether they get the money in the rock, this one for clothes, this one for bill, this one for that, they got money.
Yeah.
Famous have money for true. I don't know where they get it from, but they have money.
My boys say they have 2 and 3 and 4 jobs. You just can't see the jobs.
Those same illegal jobs.
Exactly. That's what he meant.
I get you.
That's what he meant. He said they have 2, 3, and 4 jobs. You just don't know where they are. So if you're not involved in those circles, then you just looking at your paycheck.
Mhm.
If you sell some little clothes on the side or something like that, then you get a little money coming in, but it's slow. These people got money.
Yes.
They get money. So that's why you see they keep knocking on our door. What happening? Why aren't there more arrests? Why aren't there more people going to prison for money laundering? Come on now, money running in this country.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see. I see.
Now you see, right?
And you know, we don't know how to hide what we have. We show it.
Why should we?
He is
This
stupid.
is it.
I mean, we just as if I win the lottery, no one will know.
No,
That's so hard for regular being. That's
I don't
wasting. I don't know.
Mm.
We swear everything we have.
Mhm.
Show it.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so it's an offense if you tip off. So once you know that you file that internal report or the MLRO has filed a report, that's it. It's secret. You cannot tell anybody. You can't give a hint. And you could always tell if a staff tips someone off. The activity of the customer changes.
Mhm.
Instead of customer coming in every Thursday, he decided not to come in anymore. That means he was tipped off. He or she.
Miss Acha, it's the MLRO duty to keep whoever came to him confidential as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you don't have to file an internal report. Let's say you suspect it's a staff. So you don't want to put anything on paper. You don't want to send an email. You just walk up to the MLRO office, maybe after hours, and you explain your suspicion. And then they take it from there.
Okay.
Okay. So, like I say, the law says if you should have known reasonably. So if you see something that doesn't look right, there's no harm in reporting it. No harm at all. Okay, so let's look at the requirements for customer due diligence. Under the FTRA and the FTRR, you're required to get information on your clients. It says,
Gotcha. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you.
Mhm.
This is another thing that confuses me, FTRA and FTRR.
Okay, so the FTRA is the act. That's the main regulation.
Right?
The FTRR is the regulation. They're 2 different documents. The regulation tells you, gives you more detail.
like the operations side.
Yes. You can look it up on,
Yeah, I can look it up. I can look it up.
go now to, let me see, I think, let me find the easiest site for you to go on to look it up. Go on to the Bahamas Financial, BFSB, Bahamas Financial Board, go there.
BFSB-Bahamas.
Yeah, go there
Mm-hmm.
and look down the list. Go to legislation
Mm-hmm.
and then look. Oh, let me take a find in front of you. Industry. Yeah, click on the industry. Then click on acts on amendments. I hope it's on this one.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. Then go down to, it's right here. Go down, 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 down. And it should be in here. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
But they still have 2000 here. But they have the old one. They need to have the new one in here. Why haven't they amended that? Let me show you. I want you to do the new one. Confirm resubmission. Oh Lord, these people.
Ain't current.
No, that's not current. Let me see if I can get it for you.
I can look it up. I'm sure I
But
could.
I'm trying to get you the next source. Let me see if this.
Oh, you think Central Bank may have it too, eh?
Well, that new website confuses you.
Oh, okay.
I'll go there last. Let me see this one here. All acts, alphabetical order. I'm going to laws of the Bahamas. You know, that takes long. Financial Transaction Reporting Act. Okay, let me see if they have the latest one on here. No, they have the old one too. No, they have it here. Go to Laws of the Bahamas. laws.bahamas.gov.bs. You there now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
I
click on
see an encyclopedia.
yeah. So click on alphabetical. You saw legislation, it says acts, then go in alphabetical order.
Yeah, alphabetical order.
Okay,
Okay.
and then click on F.
Okay.
And then you go down and then you'll see Financial Transaction Reporting Act. The number on the side says 040. You don't want that one. No, you don't want that one. Go down to the one that says 2018 0005. You see it? The two acts. There's one there where the code says 0040. And then there's one that says 0005.
Yes.
Found it? Okay, so click the one that says 2018 005. That's the act.
Hold on. I think okay, I'm looking at the FTRA Act, right?
Yes, that is the Financial Transaction Reporting Act. 2000.
Okay, I see the amended 2014-15,
Below that.
another 14.
below that.
Oh.
You see it?
Press that again. Sorry, I keep pressing it and it's, oh, yeah. Financial 18, yes.
That's the one.
Okay.
That's the
That's
act.
so the other one was repealed and replaced, or?
The earlier one you were looking at 2000.
Uh-huh.
I was
Yeah, that
repealed.
replaced by 18.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the.
So the regulations is a reflection of the act.
It explains the different requirements.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to see. I don't think they have it. They only have the thing on. I don't want that. I'm trying to see if they have it here. So financial transaction. Okay, so I want you to go back to legislation now. The icon at the top. You there?
Yes, that Bahamas yeah, with the letters.
Yeah. Go to legislation. Go down to subsidiary.
You say legislation. I'm at where it's in alphabetical order.
At the top, it says legislation. Click on that.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
On it.
Yes.
Go to subsidiary. You see subsidiary?
It's taking long to get there.
Okay, let me know when you get to subsidiary, when it drops down. Everybody else following?
Yes.
Okay, go to subsidiary, take the arrow across and click on alphabetical order. Then click on F. And if you go down, you'll see the regulations. Everybody see it?
The FTRR 2018.
Mm-hmm. Go to item number. It'll be 2018 0041. 41. Let me see, 41, 36, 111. No, they're not 11, no. 35. When you look at the item number, you're looking for the date, 2018 first. So all the ones that say 2018, those are new. So the main regulation, financial transaction reporting regulation is 2018-0035. You see it? Yes or no? Yes. Kermit, you found it?
Yes.
Sound like someone still can't find it. Who didn't find it? So when you open up the regulations, you'll see the regulations give you more detail.
Okay.
It's a big document. It takes a while to open up. Okay, mine is open. It's dated the 6th of June, 2000 and 18. So if you look at the regulations, okay, let me show you. If you go to the act, if you left it open, okay, under the act, it says customer due diligence. It says financial institutions to undertake customer due diligence. That's section 6. So if you go to the act under section 6, I can tell you what it says. So you could understand it better. That's 4. I had to use my finger. Too slow. 5. 6. Okay, so under the act, it says every financial institution shall undertake customer due diligence measures when opening an account for or otherwise establishing a business relationship with a facility holder. And then it says where doubt exists about the veracity or adequacy of previously obtained identification information of facility holder, or if there is a suspicion. So that's what the act says. When you go to the regulation says verification of identity of individuals. It says you need, what does identity means? The full, correct, and legal name of the person, the contact information, the date and place of birth, the purpose of the account, and then it goes into more detail, and the nature of the business. And they say, in addition to the requirements under the paragraph, the following information may be required: evidence of source of funds, evidence of source of wealth, specimen signature, telephone and fax number, occupation. So it gives you more details. So you have to read the two documents together. Understood now?
This comes under the due diligence part, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the act gives you the parameters of the law, and then the requirements give you the details. So it says that under the FTRA, whenever you onboard a client, remember you're doing a risk-based approach. So it says in your notebook, it says you have to identify the identity of the placeholder, what I just read to you. Make sure the person is authorized to act in the capacity, if it is a company. Know the nature of the business of the relationship of the person who's opening the account, who is the owner, who has control. And of course, you have to verify the identity of every person that owns 10% or more of the controlling interests of the company. And then it says simplified due diligence is conducted on facility holder identified as low risk unless there is a suspicion related to an identified risk in which enhanced due diligence is required. So what are the identified risks? Who can remember what are the identified risks? Oh, everybody gone quiet now.
What page we on, Ms. Archer? Page 60.
What now?
Yes,
60
ma'am.
63.
63 in your.
63.
Mhm.
Okay.
What are the identified risks?
Identified risk.
That's what you read first in the class.
Yes.
That's the corruption,
And cybercrime, money
cybercrime, human trafficking, money laundering.
Okay. So that's what it's saying. They're saying that a client, if they are low risk, then you have to do more due diligence if you suspect that they are involved in an activity, one of those activities under the identified risk. So if you suspect such a thing, then you have to do enhanced due diligence.
Okay.
And enhanced due diligence means that you're going to go as far as possible into the background, looking at the purpose or the complexity of the arrangement, looking at the transactions, understanding the transactions. So if you look at the domestic bank versus the offshore bank, in a domestic bank, what do you think is the largest transaction you'll see? Except if it's government. Maybe 1 million or 5 million, maybe,
In a domestic bank?
maybe.
You talking
I
about
mean,
food?
you in a domestic bank over here,
Bahamas?
right?
Yeah,
30 some.
Yeah,
Yeah, you shouldn't see no more than
yeah, you
I
have
say
some.
no
more than
more
that.
than maybe 5 million.
Yes, I say about 5 million.
Hold on, I'm lost.
Really?
No, they could be in checks, Shadell.
Oh, that's what y'all talking about.
At least that's my.
Not check. We're just talking about amount, whether it's in check, whether it's by wire transfer, whether it's by cash.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it shouldn't be no more than 5. Yeah,
You think it's in the more than 5 million. Versus on the offshore side,
5 million where? I mean, going from who to who?
the clients.
well, that on the offshore side, it would be limitless, eh?
I've never seen it.
I mean, I don't say limitless, but like
A
I
million,
would think
Miss
you deal with billions. People are billionaires, so I'm thinking it could be hundreds of millions at
There's a
times.
lot, there's a
Sometimes,
lot more money move. Yes. There's a
Yeah.
lot.
yeah.
Who's still lost?
Me, I didn't get, I probably missed the question. That's why I didn't understand the answer.
Right. So we're talking about enhanced due diligence. We're talking about transaction moving. I'm saying,
Right.
I asked the question on the domestic side, what is the largest amount you think you would see moving between clients? And we said about 5 million.
From
Hold on.
one Bahamian to the other?
Yes.
I've never seen it.
But I guess you're trying to say the largest you could think of, and I really can't see it being more than 5 million for true. Even in someone like a Brent Seminar or whatever, trying to move money from one person to the next, it can't be no more than that.
But you must don't bank to the banks I work at.
I dizzy right now.
And I sure you have an account to CIBC.
But keep in mind too, them type people they deal with the because I know all the banks have like a special area for them type customers.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean the regular tellers may not be seen, may not be like not deal with that type of stuff, but
Right.
the bank itself would have dealt with that type
Oh, this is for a
transactions.
specialized group of people.
Yeah, because I think all the banks
Yeah.
have a special section that deals
Oh,
with them type of clients.
I'm thinking it's the regular people on the streets. That's why
No.
that's why my eyes
No,
glaring.
I ain't talking about me and you. I just
Oh,
talking about domestic banks in
oh,
general. It's
oh,
about
I
5
see.
million or so.
They
Versus,
wealth customers. You call them wealth customers who be doing
Yeah,
these transactions.
yeah.
Yeah, I
That
work.
ain't irregular.
but on the offshore side, like
Oh, they billions.
it's limitless.
Yeah, billions.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's outside now, they have to declare what their activity would be. If it's
Yes.
outside of their activity, then because
The
even
question,
though,
sorry, go ahead.
go ahead, baby. I strike.
Okay, so if because how we saying like on the the private offshore side, the central bank still require the banks on that side to still like if it's over a certain amount, um, to still give them like let them know, make them aware of that certain transactions gonna happen or whatever the case may be. 'Cause I
No.
mean, then because then you're dealing with the foreign currencies too, right? Or the foreign currencies, and
Yeah,
because
but
we have have a
it's
certain
not
amount of reserves.
right. No, it's not like what do you mean reserve?
I'm thinking, okay, because I'm thinking like when money going out, you need it got most of the time it's going with US dollar. Eh?
US dollars,
So
euro, anything, any currency.
what I'm saying is, don't we have to have a certain amount of foreign reserves in order to back that money
That
whenever
don't
money going
impact
to the
that.
country? That
No,
don't
that
apply to
don't
that.
impact that. No,
Okay,
no.
okay,
The foreign reserves is impacted with Bahamians converting to US dollars.
okay. So that don't apply to the foreign offshore people.
No,
Okay,
not at all.
but still, do they? But central bank require them to make them aware, or it's just
No,
however it go on that side?
no, not how it go.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
No, it's like any other bank. If I say my account parameters my global expected. My global expected is 150 million. And I say I'm going to open my account with 5 million. So I have, during the currency of my relationship with the bank, to bring in $145 million. I could tell the bank from the very beginning that the balance will be coming in one shot. Or I could say, I have a business and my business is in this jurisdiction, and I estimate that I will have about 5 transactions a year. And over time, I will get to that 150 million. And so one transaction could come in for 3 million, one could come in for one could come in for 15, one could come in for 25 million.
Okay, so but in your professional opinion, Ms. Archer, does the offshore side have less scrutiny when it comes to central bank and oversight and all that stuff, or
No, they just
is
like
the same level of it?
no, the same level of supervision.
Okay.
But the question you're getting at is whether or not their transactions are scrutinized. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because just how you have a front office in a commercial bank, you have a front office in offshore,
Okay.
and they have an MLRO.
Okay.
So it goes through the same thing. The only difference is in the domestic, you're looking at, for people like you and I, a 15,000 threshold by law. But in offshore, there is no threshold. Everything is based upon what the client said that they were going to do.
Okay.
And so in the offshore, you get more examples of reasonable suspicion.
Okay.
Okay. So what's a PEP?
Ms. Archer,
Yes.
sorry, I have a question.
Go ahead.
If a client transfers or does a transaction outside of what the anticipated activity is, and they can justify it when questioned, do you still report it?
No, not if it makes sense. It has to make sense. And when I
Okay.
say sense, common sense. Not you
If
being
they,
convinced by the person that it makes sense.
now, if you in your judgment feel that it
Still think
makes
it don't make
sense,
sense. You file
okay,
it.
if you, no, but if you in your judgment say it makes sense,
Uh-huh.
and time goes on and it's found out that it's not, it wasn't legitimate, then the MLRO would still be fine because they didn't report it. They found that it made sense.
It depends on how it works. If let's say it came up again, a second or third time, and this time now the MLRO is questioning what happened. Of course, you should go and disclose that at the first instant, it made sense. Because guess what? I could do one transaction and then you could say that makes sense. But by the third, the fourth, or the fifth, it begins to you say, hold on. This is too much of the same thing. This is not making any sense now. So sometimes you don't see it on the first go. But sometimes you see it after the third and fourth and fifth transactions. But you can't just let it go on and on without reporting it.
Okay.
Okay. Because sometimes the client changes his pattern midway, you know. And sometimes when you speak to the client may slip and say something. And then you say, oh no, but that ain't
He forget.
yeah, he forget. That ain't what he told me when he came in here the last time. And I've seen that happen before with clients. When you call them and you ask them about a situation, they say, oh, you know, I was dealing with this and this and that. And then when they come back a couple months later and you ask the question and they say, no, I was doing this. And then you know, hold on, let me go back over the transaction again. Something was not right. That's why they always say it's reasonable. It's what's reasonable. So what's a PEP?
You mean a
A high-risk
politically expert
person.
person?
Yes.
So
High risk.
would Kermit be a pep when he started running?
Kermit is a, yes, he will.
Yes, he will.
Yes, Kermit. Get ready, get ready.
Kermit, we don't want to know the name of your wife and all your sweethearts now.
Yes.
That's right.
It's
And how
And
much
if,
banana tree you got?
hold on. And if he believes he's too important, he has to get someone to come and make his deposits for him. We want to know who that is too, and whether or not that is a close relationship.
Ah, well.
Just letting him know.
What question is Archer? You could create like a trust account over here too, eh? Or does payments have access to the offshore banks?
Yes, yes, there are a few that are in the domestic market.
Okay.
Yeah. Why you have some money to put in the trust? You better watch Kermit mine.
No, listen,
Kermit
I just
learning.
try,
Kermit just learning.
I exactly learning, Miss Archer.
I'm only
That's all
listen,
we doing. Miss
I want to
Archer.
know what's possible, what ain't possible.
Kermit already setting it up.
That's what I telling you. Kermit, I'm only teasing you,
His
man.
eyes on the prize.
Look, you can't be in politics to be thin skin.
Kermit ain't thin skin, man.
Tough up, tough up.
But Miss
So,
Archer, so you say we could, so Bahamians have access to some offshore banking in places over here,
yes, they can do domestic work.
and you're treated as a
High
No.
net worth.
A high net worth, Bahamian.
so you won't have access to the same privileges as a foreign client.
No,
So, for example, that whole law thing where you say you have to disclose $15,000. I mean, like if it's over 15,000 or $10,000, whatever, that applies to you if you're
no,
in the
that wouldn't
offshore
apply.
bank.
That wouldn't
Okay,
apply.
okay, yeah, that's it. Okay,
No, because you're in a different market.
okay.
But trust me, being a Bahamian, my eyes will open up if you come with plenty money. I want to
And
be.
that,
But we do
that
the
and
same.
that.
We do the same thing with offshore. If you say you incorporated a business in 2018,
Huh?
and you were selling, let's see, I don't know, cans of cream, whatever. You were selling something, but you just opened this company. There's no way you could come and say you open an account in the Bahamas and you bring in $5 million. It's not possible. Logically, it doesn't make any sense. If you say you open a company in 2018 and you were selling Maserati cars, and you're telling me you're bringing me 10 million, I still ain't taking that. Just on
Why you
average,
thinking? Hold on. Why you thinking it was actual? That's legal. That's legal
no,
money.
no, the numbers have to make sense. How many people buy Maserati cars?
That's true. Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
That's
Yeah,
how you have.
that's true.
That's how the offshore things, and that's the same way you should do domestically. Okay, this man say he got a boat. He went fishing. He say he did some lobster. Okay, so now he say his check is for 150,000. Before he's only bringing in $1,000. So, what, you got a big contract? And who did you sell it to? Can I have a copy of the contract, please? That's the kind of questions you ask.
What did I tell you? So you need to go put your money away in one other offshore company.
Now listen here. There's legal, there's legal, and then there's illegal. If your money is legal and you entered into a contract to supply lobster, you have a contract.
Okay.
If you had brought in a lot of lobster and you sold it down at Porter's Key, trust me, the way Bahamians post everything, you would have known there was a boat named the Mary Sue, and it was selling lobster and had a lot of it. It could go around.
Yeah.
Okay. This ain't like no big place in the United States or Europe and you wouldn't have a clue. They got to figure it out. So when you talk about PEP, you have to look at the geography, where they come from. You have to look at where their money came from, historically, where the money is coming from now, and why they want to open an account in the Bahamas. And remember with the PEP, it's not just the PEP, it's the PEP and all of their close associates, anyone they hang out with. So when I was in the domestic bank, I always look into the pictures in the punch. Let me see who hanging out with who. Because that's the only way you know who's connected to who. So the same thing now that I'm on the international side. When I look through the international papers, I look to see who's standing next to who. Then you get to know who's dealing with whatever prime minister or minister. And then you will say, oh, okay, that's why he's in that business. Because he's probably getting a lot of contracts from this minister because he's in this picture. Let's go back and look at those contracts. And that's how you trace money laundering. Okay, so under the financial intelligence reporting regulations, you can go to the same site I sent you to, Laws of the Bahamas, and you can look up this regulation. Every organization has to identify and appoint an MLRO. And of course, you know, the central bank has guidelines for the MLRO. So if you're a regulated entity, you go to the regulator first, and then you go to the FIU. And it says here that the financial institution take appropriate measures from time to time to ensure that all relevant employees are trained and made aware of all of the legislation that relate to money laundering. So one is the requirement that you file with the FIU. Then you have to know all of the legislation that relate to money laundering and terrorist financing. And that's normally is once a year. Know your client customer due diligence. I think we didn't discuss most of these. It's just a bunch of words. Okay, we don't need to read that. Let's read the offenses. What's the fine?
10,000.
You sure?
I looking at the page. I look into the page, ma'am.
Where 10,000 I missed? Well,
No, I said I think. I'm not sure.
okay.
I'm looking for the page we're on.
What page though?
I'm trying to figure it out.
66?
Oh,
66.
okay. 500,000, not exceeding 500,000.
What?
Yeah, these fines are not small.
Yeah.
These are enhanced day. These are increased day.
It was like that from I was in the bank. It was like that for a little while because I remember every year the training has been like that.
I thought it was,
I don't remember 500,000 though.
No.
I remember 100,000.
I don't remember 500.
Which legislation you read? The recent one?
Maybe not. I don't remember saying 500. I could be wrong. I mean, as much as we do it, I don't remember 500.
Yeah, it has increased. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, suspicious.
Really want to come down.
Yeah, it's a lot. You've got to do what needs to be done. Otherwise, you're fined. Yes.
Miss Archer, I was reading something last year. I think it was. I never went back to it. But they trying to capture every aspect of money laundering. I think I could be wrong, but my understanding was that if you know, have reason to know, or they might as well say if you even dream about it, you're getting fined.
Yes. That's what I said when we started.
I know, but it seems so.
Yes. It covers all.
You might as well just report it.
That's what I'm telling you.
Exactly.
You cannot sit there complacent. You're getting lovely jewelry. You got a car, nice clothes.
But it may not even be that obvious. I mean, it could just be a mere suspicion, but it seems like they want you to just go ahead, Mom.
No, what I'm saying is you have to have a suspicion. And when you have a suspicion, you remember they used to say when drugs first started, they were saying, man, Grammy gotta know, man. Her grandson always coming there putting something in his hand and he don't wake. The law didn't capture her before. It does now.
That's why at least mothers and grandmothers just be arrested now.
Yes.
I mean to laugh at them. I just saying.
You never see the pictures when they arrest everybody
Yes,
from Grammy
yes, the
Street
whole
out?
house, whole
Yeah.
house,
Yes.
the whole
Yeah.
house,
You take the whole house.
Mhm.
the
You take the
whole
whole
house.
house. Until they find out exactly who is involved. That's how the law is. And the law had to be changed in order for us to be moved off the list at that time.
Mhm.
They said the
And
laws,
this would we agree to. So
we have no choice if we want to be able to practice banking in the international arena. We're very small, island,
yeah,
small.
we on the list again, right? We on the list again now, right?
We're always on the list.
When are we not on the list?
We'll never be off the list unless we stop.
But you just said that's why we implement these. That's why we agree to these harsh measures to get off the list. But look like we can never get off.
No, but right now, what they want us to do is disclose the name of every individual who has a trust account in the Bahamas, the name of every individual who has an IBC in the Bahamas. They want the name.
What you mean? They want the name of every. But isn't that disclosed already? I mean, isn't it? Is it in a secure area?
Like the name?
Now you got it. It's in a secure area and can only be accessed if they come through the right channels. Which
Yeah,
means
but
apply the
we
attorney
did it.
general list.
We did it. So why we
No,
blacklisted
that ain't
again?
what they want. No, that's not what they want. They want it to be public.
Oh
Anybody
no,
can go and key and look at it. That's what
that'll
they want.
kill our industry.
But that's what I'm keep telling you. That's why you'll always be on a list. Gray list, black
see.
list, purple list, pink list. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Until you
'Cause-
decide, guess what? I am gonna forget this confidentiality business. I'm gonna forget all of this. Let me just open it up. They'll be happy.
Yeah, but that would be damaging to us.
Of course it will be. But that's what our fight is.
Any industry, any world industry does it public. I think Cayman is public.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, other industries are going public. But then don't forget now, those other countries who do it, they have other natural resources.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
I guess when you all strike
Yeah.
oil, you all do that.
yes. Yeah. That's all we kind of all we
We need
got.
to
Trying
strike
Well,
to-
hopefully we strike oil soon. I see they're gonna drill. They're gonna drill.
Oh, hold on now. Hold on now.
Alright.
Careful of that. You gotta be
Hold
careful.
on. Hold on now. Kermit, you're in the
We could damage our number one industry.
That's
I mean,
fine.
that's
Let
all we
them-
have
they
right
do it
now.
safely. Let them do it safely. If
Who
they
they're
drill for
monitoring
oil and they
safety?
find oil, this whole the country definitely wipe away.
You all think that money's fake. The
And
money
they
That
is
wants
money-
to corrupt politicians and don't do what they want to do.
They have to
There
put it
would
in
be
a
no
sovereign
debt.
fund. You have to put
My
it
name
in
is Archer.
a fund and then pay each Bahamian.
Would you say, Miss Archer?
You have to put the money into a sovereign fund. And then you pay each Bahamian.
Yeah, they do that too. There'd be more than
What
enough
do you
money
do?
for all that.
What's
They
the
could
what?
pay the debt off. They could pay the debt off, and they could give everybody money.
Oh, you mean like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it has to be, but a structure has to be put in place.
Yeah.
Structure.
You know that ain't gonna happen. Sovereign
It has
account.
to happen. It has to happen.
Sovereign
don't-
account.
I doubt the United States would allow them to pump oil and just waste that money. They'll be foolish.
they've been foolish.
I ain't see them controlling nothing else. Where the VAT money?
Spend it every
Right.
day. That's the voucher money right there, what they eating.
I mean, for over the years, no one could just say where it is.
Oh, you mean
the
before?
best-
You'll have to, wait a minute. You'll have
That's
to
the
check
best kept secret. Where the
They
VAT
say-
money is.
shingles. Let's move on.
I promise not to squawk today. That was a good one.
Okay, so Emma and
hold on.
Arrow have to file an STR. And the STR gives you, you fill out the information, the STR, it asks you about the client address. If there are any intermediaries, then they ask you about the account itself. They ask you for the account number, when it was opened, if it was closed, how much money is in the account. And then they ask you if anybody has the authority to sign on the account. And then they ask you, what is the amount on the account that raises suspicion? And then they want you to tell them a story. And that story, when MLRO writes it, is her statement or his statement as to why the suspicion was raised. And then based on that, that goes to the FIU. And then the FIU makes a determination, I need some more information. And so then they would write back and they'll say, send me a copy of this client's statements from this period to that period. And any other persons connected to that account, they'll want all of their statements also. And then they'll do an analysis and see whether or not they draw the conclusion that there is an identified risk here, which means that they'll be able to tell whether or not, hold on, this is from cybercrime, this is really money laundering, human smuggling. They'll make a determination. And then from there, it then goes to the financial crime unit at the police. If the police determine and they agree, then it will go to the courts to freeze the account.
Freeze all of that account.
Mhm. And then after that, after they freeze the account, they ask for more information. When they get that information, depends on what that information is, they'll ask for even more information under the order of the court. So all of this is under the Proceeds of Crime Act. When those questions come in and requests for those statements come to a bank by order, they have to disclose in a timely manner. Okay, so the next page, I just put what's required for the KYC, which you all know already. The ID, the passport, voter's card. For foreigners, it's the identity card, utility bill, why they want to open the account. If it is a company account, then you have to get the certificate of incorporation, the memo, certificate of good standing.
Ms. Archer, speaking about accounts, right?
Not a lot.
I read,
Alright,
but
alright.
they reduce what you need to open an account these days. I mean regular accounts. I ain't talking the business accounts.
Domestic accounts, yes, they did.
Because
Central Bank,
I started there going to the bank and they didn't ask you a bunch of things. Like, I know these carry on sometimes.
the laws change.
Oh,
The central bank did a customer due diligence, a reduced one.
because all they asked me for is my passport. Now it's basically it.
That's all that's required. Don't forget now, the clearing banks are agitated with the central bank saying that they think for the domestic market that all of those documents were not required because all of our documents are now linked. When you go to the passport office now have your passport, your birth certificate, your death certificate of your parents, they have them all linked together.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is linked now. So once I get your passport, I know you, whether you have an NIB card, they know. So you only need one of those identification. Passport, you can get when you're traveling. NIB card, everybody will get one of those. Because it's a form of ID. So you don't need all of that. So for a domestic person, you can open an account with a passport. You've never seen it, eh, Kermit?
Saying what?
No, they say you could get, okay, you could open an account with a passport, or you could open an account with any one of these documents: a spousal permit, permit to reside, NIB card, certificate of Bahamian citizenship, or certificate of naturalization.
I didn't know it changed. That's all I'm saying. I know at one point I remember hearing the Prime Minister talk about how it's too difficult to open an account and da, da, da. I know I heard him mention that, but I didn't know they actually changed it. Until, like I say, when I went to the bank earlier this year and I went to open an account and I saw they just took the password from my because I was like, oh, that's look like all they wanted from me. They didn't check for nothing. That's like I know they normally say they want utility bill and this and that. Hello?
Live.
Hello?
We here.
She probably got disconnected.
If you probably freeze.
Anishka, you are the host now. That's what it says.
The S
Right?
M E
Mine
P.
ain't going off.
It says in it. You are the host now. Anishka, you are the host now. So what, we have to continue, eh?
I guess you
Oh, I am the host. I am the host. What does that mean, folks? Let's turn our books to page 68. I think this is recorded too. The massage is gone.
I think she probably will come back.
Yeah. What page we on anyhow?
We were on 67.
Yeah. Trying to see if she is on. She's not on.
You calling out?
I'm trying. I think Nishka, you have a number. Eh? I hope I didn't. I didn't. You can't make yourself the host, right? I hope I didn't press anything.
No, I don't think you can make yourself a host.
And Nishka, you have Massage's number. Nishka gone too?
It might be that Karen.
Oh, she's back. It looks like she's back. The current is.
Okay.
Everybody else. Oh,
Yeah, you see, mine came off too. But my
your
light is
current
still
went
on.
off?
My light is still on. It just
Oh,
dropped.
yeah.